Ever wonder why Klarna can't repo your Sephora haul? It's all about secured versus unsecured debt. Secured debt? Miss a car payment, lose the car. Unsecured debt? It's a handshake and a hope. Klarna's loans are risky, no collateral involved. When customers ghost, Klarna takes the hit. Watch the full video to understand debt better. Because if you don't, you're paying for someone else's burrito.
So Gary, let's talk about the advantages now and the disadvantages of secured versus unsecured. I want to start with the secured side. So for both the borrower and the lender, what are the advantages, disadvantages of a secured loan?
Okay, so for the borrower, the advantage of a secured loan is you're going to get a lower interest rate. So the example I used before is, let's imagine you go to the bank and you say, hey, will you lend me $1 million? And the bank says, well, what if you don't pay it back? And I'm like, well, then you'll be very disappointed. They might do it, but they're going to assign a very high interest rate to that. But if you go to the bank and you say, I would like $1 million loan against my house, and if I don't pay, you could repossess my house, they might say, well, that's very interesting. And that's how, just a few years ago, people were, they were getting home mortgages at 3%, right? And some of these were huge loans at 3%. And the reason is because it was secured. So the advantage for the borrower of a secured loan is you're going to get a lower interest rate. The advantage of a secured loan for the lender is if there's a loss, it won't be a complete loss, right? So we joked before about trying to repossess a burrito. In that situation, you're going to take 100% loss. If you can repossess somebody's home or their car, you'll have some recovery. Now, on the secured side, the disadvantage for the borrower is if you don't pay, you're going to lose something, right? Losing your house, losing your car is extremely painful. It's a horrible outcome for people. Versus if you don't pay your credit card bill, your credit score is going to be dinged pretty badly, but they don't come into your home and steal your stuff. Steal is the wrong word. Repossess is a better word. From the point of view of the lender, the disadvantage of a secured loan is you're probably not going to recover whatever you're repossessing. You're not going to recover it at its highest value. The easiest way to explain that is, everybody knows you buy a new car, you drive it off the lot, it's worth what, 30% less? Immediately, all of a sudden, it's a used car. So if your auto lender, it's a secured loan, when they recover that or repossess it, they're probably going to be selling it at a distressed rate. They'll recover something, but they're still going to take losses on it. And again, you're pricing these loans at a much lower rate. I promise you, the loan, a mortgage loan will have a much lower interest rate than if you don't pay your credit card bill and you're paying American Express or Visa interest on your balances.
And then Gary, opposite of that, vice versa, on the unsecured side, advantages, disadvantages for the borrower and lender.
Okay, so for the borrower, it's the inverse of everything we just said. For the borrower, the advantage of an unsecured loan is if you're not able to pay it back, you don't lose your stuff. Again, your credit rating is going to be bad, but they don't come into your house and repossess your things. From the point of view of the lender, the advantage is you're going to get a much higher interest rate. So right now, mortgage rates are right around 7% or so, depending on the details of your loan. But credit card interest is well over 20%. It's in the low to mid 20s right now if people don't pay their balances. And so collecting on that kind of money can be really nice for the credit card companies. And then again, on the disadvantages, the inverse is also true, right? So if you have unsecured debt, you might be paying a 22, 24, 25% interest rate. That's not pleasant. You can end up falling very far behind and owe a lot of money that way. And from the point of view of the lender, the disadvantage of an unsecured loan is when you take a loss, you're going to be taking a 100% loss. There's no recovery. And that's why they charge so much more. So that's explaining secured and unsecured for the borrower and lender, the advantages, disadvantages. We've looked at it from every possible way.
Great stuff, Gary. And that concludes for everyone this week's version of the 5 things to know in investing with deep knowledge investing. The government needs a new credit score issue. Thank you so much for watching. If you could, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the show. If you didn't like watching us, no problem at all either. Give us a thumbs down. Let us know what you disagreed with or why you might think differently. We absolutely encourage it. Head to our website at deepknowledgeinvesting.com. You can sign up for a free subscription. That'll get you added to our newsletter, where you'll get all the information you need on new posts happening on the DKI website.